The story begins with two officers bringing a guy named Eric to prison. What did he do? How did he end up here? We'll find out later. The officers who brought him handed him over to two other prison guards and left. They didn't talk much to him. The female officer put him through the scanner. She made sure he didn't have anything made of metal. Then they sent him to strip. He had to get naked, my boy. They started searching him from head to toe. His hair, ears, hands, and his precious private parts. They searched all skin. Oh, my boy. Once they were sure, they gave him prison clothes to put on. Then they handed him over to another officer to take him to his cell. Just to get from there to his cell, they passed through a bunch of doors. Open one, go in and close it. Open another, go in and close it. He's no Michael Scofield from Prison Break. He's not getting out of here. When he reached the cell door, they ordered him to face the wall. They opened the door, he went in, and they locked it behind him. He was all alone in the cell. Our guy doesn't waste time. As soon as the guard left, he broke his razor. He took out the blade, grabbed a lighter, and melted some plastic to attach it. What's he supposed to do, wait for them? Or wait until someone bullies him before looking for a weapon? He's getting ready, so if anyone messes with him, he's ready to strike. He melted the toothbrush from the other side. He used it to unscrew the light bulb and hid the blade inside. It's clear our guy is a pro and experienced in this. He spent the whole night leaning against the door waiting for morning. At one point he heard some noise outside. He saw the guy cleaning the prison passing something to an inmate under the door. He didn't pay much attention to it. He did some push-ups to warm up his muscles. When morning came, he wanted to light a cigarette. He opened his eyes and found that the lighter was broken. The melted toothbrush plastic had covered it and it wouldn't light anymore. While he was struggling with it, he heard the announcement for mealtime. Immediately after the doors opened, as he stepped out, he found a guy in the cell across from him. Hey, a light please? God forbid, you jerk, I don't have one. Eric wanted to fight him, but he spent the first day just drinking water. Moving on, he got in line with the other end. Move up, his turn came. He stood in front of the guy in charge of food. The guy kept giving him these looks. Watch your mouth. Man, he even brought up my mother. They started arguing, and just when they were about to fight, the guards intervened. They took him to his cell. He finished his food, and when he was done, he went out with the inmates to the yard. They were all thugs, my boy. Their faces looked like nothing but trouble. Eric was practically the youngest one in the whole prison. He saw the inmate he was about to fight at breakfast. He was selling mint and powdered sugar. He was busy working in the prison canteen during the break. Business is like a saw, you're always cutting through. As Eric was walking, a guy named Nevaeh stood in his way. The way he spoke and acted, it seemed like he ran the place. He didn't let anyone get the better of him. Eric said, eliminating that addict isn't enough to earn a spot in prison and make the inmates respect him. What does he mean by this? Who is this addict he's talking about? God only knows. When he told him this, he ordered him to get out of that corner. He hung his head and left. That same evening, while he was lying in the cell, that guy came to ask him for a lighter. Boko still wants a lighter? Eric doesn't answer him. Look, man, he still wants a lighter, and I'm gonna put it here. He didn't want to put it down. He got up, gave the guy a hook, smashed his head against the wall, and then the table. Pass out, I told you, 3 knocks. He left him bleeding, and everyone gathered in the hallway. He carried him on his back and walked out to the guards. He tried talking to them, attempting to convince them it was just an accident, but of course they wouldn't believe him. He saw them coming at him with batons. Tahar ran back to his cell. He took off his clothes and poured. He broke the table legs and started waiting for them with them. The officials knew he wouldn't surrender. Wait, it's better. They brought in 3 from the quick response team. They opened the door and rushed in on him. And that's when things got messy for our guy. Even though he was still young, he held his own against all 3. He was holding his ground. That rascal was tough. Plus, having greased himself up, he wasn't easy to catch. He slipped from under them and got onto the bed. He hit one of them with a blow to the head and held a piece of iron to his neck. Come any closer and I'll finish him off. The officials saw the officer under his mercy. They started negotiating with him. Just let him go, and whatever you want, you'll get. I, sir, don't want anything. I told you it was just an accident, and I don't want to be punished. The official promised him they wouldn't punish him, but as soon as the officer was released, they pounced on him. They handcuffed him, and it looked like he was in for a real beating. You cause that much chaos and fall into their hands, they'll torture you, my boy. Our guy knew they were gonna make him pay. He decided to make a move to escape. As they were moving, he caught one off guard. A hit straight to the face. They tumbled into a room where some inmates were having a meeting, and the third one tried to get control of him. They wrestled with each other head to head. Oh, for heaven's sakes. You know, the officer started screaming at God. Luckily for him, there was someone from a human rights organization there named Oliver. As they were trying to pry the guard away from Eric, he stepped in and started talking to him. Just let him go. I promise you if you let him go, I won't let him hurt you. Eric trusted him and let him go. And indeed, when the guard was freed, they wanted to attack him. He stepped in again to protect him from them. In short, Oliver was able to calm the situation, and he got them to take him to solitary without beating. Look how he entered the cell, dying of laughter at them. He still couldn't believe he had them on their knees. He thought what he did would go unpunished. Amidst all this, the prison warden arrived. She asked him what was happening. He told her Oliver is a prisoner, Eric has anger issues, and he wanted her permission to let him continue participating in the therapy sessions he leads. The official was furious and completely opposed to this. He beat one of the prisoners and almost killed 2 guards. I swear I won't let this slide. The warden saw they were going to keep fighting in there. She took them to a room to discuss the plan. Oliver told her the kid is only 19 years old, and that what he's doing is just to prove his strength to the prisoners and not let anyone dare mess with him. Before deciding Eric's fate, the warden asked them to bring him to her from solitary confinement. A guard went to him, gave him clothes to wear, and brought him to her. But once he sat down, she suggested he go get treated by Oliver, otherwise he'd finish his entire sentence in solitary. Our guy is also a wild card, and she's waiting for him to agree. She was shocked when he said, if I get treated, I won't cause trouble anymore, get out of prison. And if it works for me, you'll try it on other prisoners and they'll get out of prison too. And if you keep at it like this, you'll empty the prison, find yourselves out of a job. The guy is sharp, he's not just some random prisoner. In the middle of this, he found the guard next to him staring at him. He shut him down. The warden saw his behavior and ordered them to take him back to solitary. And just as she was about to reject Oliver's request, the official intervened and asked her to let him get treated, and they will monitor him. If anything happens, they will send him back to solitary. On the other side, we will see the prisoner. Nife visits the cell of the prisoner who works in the prison canteen. On his way, when he reaches him, he clears the place and it becomes clear that everyone is afraid of him. He saw Alazu and he started shivering. I swear we got the job done, that's it. Everyone is terrified while he swears. He said to him, did you think I wasn't keeping an eye on you? From the talk between them, we learn he assigned him something outside prison that he didn't pull off. That's why he came after that guy. He told him if he messes with him again, he'll finish him. Then he moved on from Alazu. He went to another prisoner named Spencer. This Spencer is the leader of the gang that Nife belongs to. Our guy was really running things, controlling prisoners and guards to the point of having a room equipped with everything he needs. When Nife sat with him, he told him the kid is causing chaos and he needs to be stopped before it affects our business in a minute. And here we find out that Eric is Nife's son. Like father, like son. At night, when the head count was done and everyone was asleep, a guard came to Nife and he took him to his son's cell. He doesn't talk much. He went in, put down some food he brought him, and started talking to him. He made him understand that the guards here are dangerous, and if he continues what he's doing, they'll finish him off. And he ordered him to attend Oliver's therapy sessions and behave himself to get out of there as soon as possible. As he was leaving, he asked him why he treats him so coldly. He didn't answer him. He just wanted to come here for a long time to see Nife himself. He didn't listen to that talk at all. He kept telling him other things. He knocked on the guard. He opened. He left in the morning. Eric returned to his cell. The guy hadn't even warmed up his spot yet. The trouble started again when the black guy he fought with left his room. He snuck in. He searched here and there. He messed up the whole room. He found 2 lighters belonging to the guy he fought with in his room. He went in and gave them to him. Here are your 2 lighters. Try being a man for once. After a short while, the guy returned. He found his room in a mess. He was furious. Who entered my room? Damn it, I'll find whoever got into my room. He was shouting. Eric was hiding in his room, dying of laughter. The day ended. The next day, they weren't let out. Eric went to the therapy session run by Oliver. He went inside. He said he'd talk to him and that he would behave. He moved. During that session, there were some black guys, including one named Hassan. As soon as Oliver started talking, Eric took out a cigarette. He told him cigarettes are forbidden during the session. He didn't pay him any mind. He stepped in. Are you trying to drive me crazy? Drop that crap. He took the cigarette and ordered him to listen to the coach or face the consequences. They were triggered when they found out Eric snitched on them while they were at the session. Eric turned and found the guard watching him. He got up to him. You're the one. You're relaying information and telling him things so he'd let you beat me. He wanted them to beat him. Oliver was trying to break it up at that moment. Another guard intervened, pulled him away, and took him to finish the day in his cell as punishment. Even though Eric was such a troublemaker, Oliver really cared about him. When he returned to the session, he asked Hassan and the other guys to look out for him. That day ended, and the next Hassan was training with his friends in their cell. He called some guys the guy working in the kitchen sent to beat Eric up. They attacked him with punches and kicks, pushed his head in the toilet, and tortured him. Hassan arrived just in time. Our guy was strong and fit. He grabbed one and threw him out. He took on the others and freed Eric. He started on the one who was holding him, shoved his head in the toilet, and kept at it. One good turn deserves another. The kid would have been finished if Hassan hadn't stepped in. After the fight, he went to shower. Hassan joined him, gave him shampoo, and when he finished, he returned it, thanked him for his help, and went back to the cell. He saw him with the black guys and wasn't pleased. While he was resting in his cell, he stood over him. Did I send you to get therapy or to join gangs? It's the last time I see you with them. Listen carefully and get moving. The night passed, and when Eric woke up in the morning, Oliver came for him to return to the session. They started chatting and getting to know each other better. Oliver asked him why he was arrested, and he began to tell a story. Years ago, he was in a boarding school. Things were going well. Everything was fine. Until one day, one of the officials tried something. Enough, buddy, my mom is watching. That official used to do that to other students. None of them ever resisted. But that time he ran into a man who tried to resist him, and he ended up killing him. But now they didn't go into much detail with Oliver, but he understood that someone tried to mess with him. When the therapy session time came, they went to the hall. They found Hassan and the other guys already there. Eric sat down and one of them started provoking him. He got heated and wanted to get into a fight. Someone stepped in to hold him back and Hassan jumped in to defend Eric. Oliver tried to break it up. In short, it turned into a mess and it was hard for them to settle it. Anyway, even though the atmosphere was a bit tense, they finished the session. The next day before going to the meeting again, he stopped by his father. While looking for his cell by mistake, he entered Spencer's cell. He found him hanging out with the guy who works in the cafeteria. He asked what he wanted. He told him it was just a mistake. He went back to his father's cell and found his father's partner sitting there. He sat with him until he arrived. He told his father that he wanted to keep things clear. I go to the therapy sessions, but from now on, I don't want you interfering in my decisions. He said this and headed to the session. This time, Oliver brought up the topic of girls and they started to loosen up. They were grumpy, but as soon as the topic became girls, they hit it off and started laughing hysterically. One would tell them something and they would laugh. The other would tell another story and they would laugh. Sometimes they'd mess with each other. In short, they got along like old friends. When the session ended, he and Hassan headed to the gym. He went all out and Hassan trained with him. When he finished with him, he started boxing training with another guy from the session. In short, each one of them was teaching him what they knew. He was becoming a skilled fighter. At one point, the guy hit him in the head during training. His father was there and saw this and he wasn't happy about it. He wanted to intervene but remembered he was asked to stay away. He grabbed his towel and left. When training was over, he went to the showers. It was quiet while he was showering. Someone attacked him without a word. He put a tube around his neck and started choking him. He fought back but couldn't break free. The guy left him in the dark, lying on the floor, unconscious. But as soon as he let go, he kicked him in the face. He got up. He must have been faking it to make him let go. He beat him up mercilessly and choked him with his leg. Talk. Who sent you? At first he didn't want to say, but when he saw he was going to finish him off, he said the guy who works in the cafeteria. Our friend had suspected he was the one who sent those guys that day, and once confirmed, he took action. Straight to his room. He pulled out the blade he made. He headed to the room, and the guy was on the phone. He attacked him. He jumped on him. They were rolling on the ground. In the guy's room, he pulled the blade from his socks. He started hitting him one blow after another to the face, and he pinned him down. He grabbed him by the lips. Talk, you talk. The guy I saw you with that day is the one who told you to kill me, right? Talk, or I swear to God, I'll make you regret it for the rest of your life. The guy saw his life in his hands. He said yes. Look at Eric, he's furious. He let go of Azu and headed straight for Chaye's cell. He barged in and attacked him. His father was sitting with him. He grabbed him and pinned him to the bed. He took away his blade and started asking why he did this. He's the one who sent Azu to kill me. Spencer heard this and was totally confused. How could I have sent Azu? Azu, come up here. Spencer yelled for Azu. He ran up and stood before them. His face was all beaten up and bleeding. Did I tell you to go kill Nife, son? Yes, Spencer, he kept threatening me. I didn't know what to do. I told him you sent me just to escape death. Get out of my sight. If I see you in this wing again, you're a dead man. Eric realized that he wasn't the one who sent him. He promised he wouldn't threaten him. He ordered Nife to leave them both alone. At first he hesitated, but when he promised not to hurt him, he agreed. Spencer was very impressed by Eric's courage. He told him, you remind me of myself when I was young. Bravo, you really stood your ground. But be careful. Even if we are tough, we always need friends to stand by us. Don't make enemies with everyone and end up alone. He gave him this advice and sent him on his way. After this incident, he met with his father, Oliver. He asked how things were going with the therapy. He told him your son suffered emotional trauma and abuse in his youth, and we need a lot of time. His father heard this and got angry. He asked him to do his best to help him get out of here as soon as possible, and he left. This time in the recovery session, they started working on his anger management. How? It's easy. Someone with him started saying things to provoke him. He had to keep control of himself. At first he was furious and wanted to jump and fight, yeah. But with the training and Oliver's words, he managed to stay calm. Everyone seemed happy that he started to recover. When the session ended, they went back to Hassan's room. They drank coffee. At the end of the day, everyone went to their cell. In the morning, they were in the therapy session as usual. His father entered to join them. His father was already agitated. As soon as Eric gave him a look, he started shouting, I came here for your sake. Stop those mocking looks before I blind you. They were about to fight if Oliver hadn't stopped them. Nife had enough after this incident. He gave up on the therapy session and walked out of there screaming, open up for me, let me in, lock me up. Damn it, today I'm gonna finish someone off. As soon as Nife left, Eric was arguing with someone again. How can you not get angry? The other guy started provoking him. They exchanged empty words. They started insulting each other's mothers. Azu was training him in boxing, stood up. If any of you insults the other's mother again, fight it out. He didn't sit down. The other guy said to him, your mother, and he went for him. You know, since the session started, this is the first time they've seen him like this. They were all gathered on top of him, and they could barely hold him back. When he saw him like that, he went for the other guy. He asked him for forgiveness. He brought up his mother. He made him ask for forgiveness too. They managed to calm the situation, but the noise was heard throughout the prison. The officer and the warden arrived. Oliver tried to talk to them. He explained it was a misunderstanding, but it was no use. They held Eric responsible for what happened, and he has to return to therapy sessions again. The prisoners themselves intervened. They explained that he did nothing wrong, yet they remained insistent on banning him. It seems like someone sent them. Oliver, who saw him starting to heal and change a lot, was furious at what they did. While in the bathroom washing his face, the officer caught up with him. Forgive me for what happened. I know you want to help the prisoners, eh? Oliver grew intense with him. He grabbed him and slammed him against the wall. He was about to lose it, but stopped at the last moment. Because of this, the officer took away his badge and stopped the sessions he was conducting. The day ended. The next day, Eric was in his cell. His father came to see him. He saw him, took off his clothes, and attacked him. Take that. You are the reason the session stopped. If you hadn't come, he would have been fine. He and his father kept trading blows, but from the way his father hits, he seems very angry at him. He tried to calm him down. He wouldn't calm down. He left him there and went out. Eric wouldn't let it go, following him to his cell. He confronted Spence. He tried to stop. He landed a hook to his stomach. He threw him down. He went down screaming. Who else wants to talk? Anyone who stepped up, he fought them. The toughest one who said I am got a beating. He went down cursing his father. He went down running to stop him. They met the SWAT team coming to stop them. And that's when it turned into chaos. He and his father caused a huge scene. He was lashing out at them on one side, and his father was lashing out on the other. It was difficult to stop them. They took them to solitary confinement. They couldn't get the handcuffs off him. They left him cuffed and walked out. Eric eventually settled, but his father wouldn't budge. He kept cursing and banging on the door until they brought the water hose and soaked him. Only then did he calm down. The day ended. At night, when everyone left, a guard he knew came to him. He asked if he needed anything. He told him to just undo his cuffs so he could rest. He opened the door and entered. He went to undo them. Navi, the traitor, didn't undo them. He struck him, landing a hook to his face that knocked him out. After that, he cuffed him, covered him up, and left. He passed by his son's cell to make sure he was okay, and went up to Spencer's cell. Not much time passed after Navi left. The officer and guards entered, heading for Eric in Spencer's room. Navi walked in on him. He looked terrified. He asked him what he was doing there. He said, "I came to tell you 2 words. Whatever you do, I'm with you except hurting my son." Spencer started in on him. "I consider you family and your son as my own. I would never intend to hurt him." He talks to him while simultaneously trying to pull out a knife. Spencer, the bastard, was treacherous. He talked to him and kept an eye on him. On the other side, we see the warden and the guards beating up Eric. They grabbed him, beat him like a dog, and started getting ready to finish him off. Spencer kept distracting Navi, and while he wasn't looking, he sprayed pepper spray in his face and threw a knife at him. Navi was stronger than him, dodged it, took it from him, threw him on the ground, and stabbed him in the side. Spencer realized this was the end for him. He started begging for mercy, swearing it wasn't him. He claimed the warden was behind it all, and if he ran, he could still save him. Navi had completely lost it, and he plunged the knife into his stomach. He left him there, took off running, and headed toward Eric's cell. Meanwhile, the warden and the guards had tied a rope, a cloth around his neck, and were hanging him. He arrived and found them hanging and waiting. He rushed in and attacked them. It was his son, so he showed no mercy. He kicked one of them. He grabbed the other one by the neck and flew at him, and smashed him against the wall. The warden saw what he did to his men. He was terrified to the core. He pulled out a knife, cut the cloth, and lowered it. He left him busy with them and walked out. He reported that the prisoner tried to end his own life. He managed to save his son at the last moment. Had he been any later, he would have been gone. They took him to get treated, and when he got better, they returned him to solitary confinement. While he was lying there this morning, his friend Hassan called out to him from the yard. He checked on him. He told him the warden was gone, and they returned to their classes with Oliver again. And when he gets out of solitary, he will join them again. In short, he chatted with him until the break was over. When they went back in, the guard was him. He told him to come out and get some fresh air. While he was leaving, he timed it perfect for them. They wanted to show him that the guards came out at this time to meet him. He greeted him. He told him he was proud to have a son like him. He humbled himself, and Eric moved on. This was the first time he felt like himself again. He wished he could stay with him. He thanked the guard for what he did for him. He returned to his cell. And here we have reached the end of the story. If you liked it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. This is my Instagram. This was Yusuf with you. See you in the next video. Peace.